Indeed, it's the Packard Merlin engine that powers this bubble canopy P-51D model, built by North American Aviation in Inglewood, California, in late 1944. Of World War II. Stationed in the UK with the 8th and 9th Air Forces of the then US Army Air Force, the predecessor of the US Air Force. They were able to escort B-24 Liberators and B-17 Flying Fortresses all the way to their targets deep in the heart of occupied Europe and accompany them back. A major contributor, therefore, to the success of the combined Allied bomber offensive during the final part of the Second World War. This P-51D from the Hangar 11 collection depicts, or this is indeed a part of this very airframe's history, another famous aspect of the Mustang's wartime service. Namely that with the so-called red tails, and you can see that element on this aircraft's colour scheme, first having reappeared as such around this time last year, back on the display circuit. That's the colour scheme of the 99th Fighter Squadron, part of the Freedom Fighters. These are adopting a curving final approach to land. That has very good practical purpose because visibility over the nose in these heavy taildragger fighters is none too good. That's able to keep the runway in sight for as long as possible. And there he is, Peter Teichmann, with the Hangar 11 Collection's North American P-51D Mustang. US Army Air Corps and later Army Air Force, US Air Force, into its final form. The early ones had fixed undercarriage rather than the retractable gear of the one we see here. It was when production switched to the AT-6 Advanced Trainer variant for the US Army Air Corps that the design as we best know it today was born. And that was bought by the Royal Air Force and the Royal Canadian Air Force as the Harbour 2, and it became a mainstay of the Commonwealth Air Training Plan in Canada. As Second World War hostilities developed, it was deemed far more desirable to train pilots. Enemy activity was likely. Canada was seen as being a suitably safe bet, but there were some problems associated with that because at the time the first harbours were being supplied to the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan, the United States was of course still officially neutral. It hadn't entered World War II yet, and so the first 25 examples to be based in Canada weren't able to be flown across the US border to be delivered. They managed to circumvent that though by having the Canadian nationals physically haul them across the land border. The aircraft then took off and were flown to their bases. By the end of 1940, more than 800 Harvards had been delivered to bases around the British Empire. And the President of North American Aviation, Dr. Kindleberger, was congratulated by telegram by Lord Beaverbrook, the head of the British Ministry of Aircraft Production, for the company's efforts. There were service flying training schools equipped with communist gangs, the theatre in which the Fleet Air Arm was so very active, of course. The French used them during their colonial conflicts in Algeria, and the US Air Force employed them in the Korean War as forward air control aircraft. This one, which comes to us from Kennet Aviation, was built by North American Aviation in 1942, and it's flown in the US Army Air Force olive drab scheme. This aircraft has been used a lot over the years as a tail dragger trainer for warbird pilots, not least those of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight and the Royal Navy Historic Flight. Earlier this year that the last Harvard on the British military register was struck off charge and sold because Kinetic, the flight test organisation based at MOD Boston Down in Wiltshire, had one lingering on strength, used for slow speed chase work during trials programs and other tasks. One of them was lost, the second was sold during the 1990s, and the third stayed on until it was sold.
Model over there, so you can go and have a look at what the UK is going to be flying off our aircraft carriers in the future. You can go to the cockpit of that one as well. There's also the science, technology, engineering and mathematics display, and the arena where we've got field gun demonstrations. The HMS Heron, our very homegrown volunteer band. We've got the Royal Navy presentation team. We'll be talking through what the Navy's up to today and in the future. And the military wives choir will be performing there as well. Over there we've got the Maritime Aviation Capability Exhibition, which is future technology that's all coming into service with all the new aircraft, the new missile systems, and all the sensor arrays in there. So do go and have a look over that as well. All interesting stuff over the static park. In the centre you've got more stuff displays, all the traders, and the fun fair. And over to the left, as you look at the display line, we've got the big C-17 there, open for everyone to go and have a look, good one around. And behind then you might have noticed a few of the helicopters going in and out to the northeast. They're pleasure flights, so you can go and buy yourself a flight, so you can get into the air, have a look at the air show from above today, and they go on throughout the day. Do look after yourselves, it is a warm one, there's not a lot of wind, which we've been chatting with some of the display teams. It's one of those on this new front.
Indeed, I was talking earlier about F-16s being sold by certain European air arms following the end of the Cold War, and Jordan has been one of the beneficiaries of that.
Yes, we picked up all the surpluses for a very good knockout price.
Okay, well, here we go then with the 4 extra EA-300Ls of the 2017 Royal Jordanian Falcons. 4-ship formation takeoff to begin with.
platoon gets airborne, we'll leave you to the music. Some typical national Jordanian music. I hope you enjoy, and you can fill in the gaps as you wish.
Here another negative G push. That very neat inverted pass, pushing up to 45 degrees. And pulling through in what's known as the split F maneuver. We saw that earlier from the F-16 as well. Formation spreading out in tango formation, individual rolls. And now we'll see the first separation of the display. The three-ship formation will pull up. There goes the soloist pulling away to their right, and the three-ship pull up for stall turns. Remaining in line abreast formation. Beautifully synchronized. Right wingman moving into mirror formation below the team leader. The left wingman barrel rolling around the mirror formation. Team leader Captain Al-Qudar, born in 1985, he joined the Royal Jordanian Air Force at the age of 18, graduating 3 years later from the King Hussein Air College as a fighter pilot.